Welcome to the RG10 Podcast. For many of us, the Thames is fireworks at Henley, walks along the towpath, regattas, rowing clubs and summer evenings by the water. It's the place to be. But behind the postcard moments, there are growing concerns: flooding, pollution, infrastructure strain, and big questions about the future of our river. I've been speaking to Greg Wilkinson, chairman of the Middle Thames branch of the River Thames Society. We talked about why this stretch of the Thames is so special, what the society actually does, the events that bring the community together, and why the next 10 to 20 years could be critical for the river's health. Here's our conversation.
The River Thames Society, I think it exists to protect and preserve the Thames. I mean, we preserve the heritage. We have the River Thames in our trust at the moment. We're entrusted with it, and future generations deserve to have it at least as good as we've got it now. So there's a protection issue there. We promote the Thames, as I say, and within the society, we like to feel that we are the hub to connect river users together so that we can lobby together, we can exert influence on those who are responsible, and generally, make it a good place and keep it a good place.
And the Middle Thames branch, for those people who don't know, what are the parameters? Describe it for me.
Well, as you know, the Thames is tidal at the bottom around London and non-tidal this side of Teddington. The Middle Thames branch covers from Maple Durham down to Old Windsor. So we've got the key towns, if you will. We've got Reading, we have Henley, we have Marlow, Maidenhead and Windsor itself. And I suppose one would, but we do see ourselves as the important bit. We've got the big towns, we've got everything there, and we feel an extra responsibility to protect it.
What would you say makes the Middle Thames stretch special compared with other parts of the river?
I think the Middle Thames tends to be the part that the boaters use, the anglers predominate, and as I say, it runs through the main towns. Apart from Oxford and London, we are the centre. And, we've got a lot of the heritage with Cookham, with Windsor, with Reading. We've got the regatta, we've got the festival. Everything happens in Middle Thames. We are the place to be.
There are so many reports all over the country, so many flood warnings at the moment, and that is increasing the case in our area as well. What kind of challenges, what kind of problems does this present for you, for the river?
Well, immediately you have a problem with the river path. And I think the river path is overflowed along a lot of the area. I mean, Goring yesterday, you couldn't see the Thames path. It was completely underwater. And so that creates danger for people who use the river. The red board system, the Environment Agency, the locks put up red boards when the river, it is in heavy flow and stop boaters going on it. The rowers tend to still go out, and they need to be really careful because it's a torrent at the moment. It's just hammering through, and people need to be extremely careful on the river and around the river.
And how long have you actually been involved with the society, and what has been the change in the river's health during those years?
I've only been chairman of the Middle Thames for a year. I've got my first.
Okay.
I took over because the previous chairman, my predecessor, became ill, and there'd been a hiatus for a couple of years. So I came in. I was attracted to it because of the events that we run. During Henley Festival, we hire the watermen, and we go out as a group of 50 or 60 of us on the watermen. We have a meal on the boat, and the skipper of the watermen is exceptionally good at stopping where the fireworks can be seen in full view. So we enjoy the upper deck of the waterman, and I join that. I mean, membership's only £20 a year. You get 4 magazines, the Thames Guardian, that come with it. They're delivered to you. They're worth £20, never mind anything else. And then you get access to all these events. So it was a no-brainer for me. I had to join in. And I must have shown some weakness because they said they needed a chairman, and I said, okay, then. I was a boater. I don't have a boat now, but I've skippered for the River Thames Boat Trust and for Accessible Boating Thames at Bisham, two wonderful charities that focus on disabled people. So I'm heavily involved with the river, and it was an obvious step to take, really.
Yeah, I feel like I might have been a bit miserable so far with the river. I think let's cheer things up a bit. You kind of touched on it there. The jolly events, the fun times you guys have. What are the other events that you guys get involved with? What do people get out of joining the society?
Right. Last month we had a quiz at the Leander Club with afternoon tea. I think it's in a couple of weeks' time there is a talk on the tributaries and the walks around the Thames, and that is at Maidenhead Rowing Club with lunch. So we have lunches, we have dinners, we have the AGM coming up at the Leander Club again, where there'll be a lunch available there. We have walks. The chairman of our events committee, Linda Humphreys-Evans, is very keen on walking and plans a walk by the river along the whole stretch, a bit at a time. And she does those during the summer, and a lot of people enjoy those. So yeah, we have. We had a very nice Christmas lunch at one of the new golf clubs in just off the 4074 at Caversham Heights. That's it. We had a very nice lunch there. So yeah, for people who want companionship, the events committee provide an awful lot. I've also got a branch committee, which was formed about 6 months ago. I was on my own until then. I thought we needed a committee, and was very pleasantly surprised when immediately I got 7 or 8 people saying, yes, we'll help. We'll get together. We need to do something. And it was like poking a sleeping tiger. It woke up, and we've got a really good committee now moving forward.
And is there any particular stretch of the river that you're particularly fond of?
I'm a member of Phyllis Court at Henley and love going there and enjoy the bit of river there. And actually, that has serious pollution problems at the moment around there, as does most of the Middle Thames, because we have far too much sewage, far too many chemicals being spilt over into the river by Thames Water. It's a big issue, and we really need to get into that and sort it. There's a white paper just been published about the future vision for water, which seems to me to really depend on a regulator far too much. It'll depend on who the regulator is, but it gets rid of Ofwat, brings in a new regulator, and the change over and what Thames Water are going to be allowed to get away with is quite frightening, really. We need to keep a real eye on that.
Explain that for me, if you would.
Well, the water company was privatised some years ago. Privatisation has meant asset stripping, basically by foreign owners. There's been very little investment, and so the infrastructure now is creaking. You get regular overflows of sewage into the river. We're getting E. coli. We're getting a lot of bacteria there that really needs sorting out. We're getting climate change issues. There's weed development on the river with the warm summers. That needs looking at. There's so much to do to preserve and protect the river, and so many challenges.
Can it be turned around? Say, looking forward over the next 10, 20 years?
Yes, it can. And I think because of the potential impact on London, there's leverage there. We need to get the MPs involved. We need to get the local councils involved. I mean, we need a will to protect it and to preserve it by all those involved. And there are a lot of people involved. I mean, it comes down from Gloucestershire all the way down to Essex. It's a long stretch, but it's a historic place. It deserves it, it needs it, and we've got to protect it for those who follow us.
That was Greg Wilkinson, chairman of the Middle Thames branch of the River Thames Society. And if you'd like to learn more about the Society's work, their events, or how to get involved, we'll put the details in the show notes. Thanks for listening to RG10. If you found this conversation useful, please follow, share and leave a review. It really helps more local voices to be heard. Goodbye.